So I will start with a small improvisation on my instruments, and then I will, after that, I will show you more deeply the latest products I've made. Do you hear me enough, or should I take the microphone if I speak? Okay. So I will just now introduce you the different modules we are proposing for sale. One very interesting module is the Domino. The Domino is a synthesizer I've built already 10 years ago, and I made the first Domino was a desktop instrument, and I made a module version of it. It's out now for 2 or 3 years, but there is the new batch was made later this year, so it's interesting to rediscover it a little bit. The interesting thing with the Domino, it's a very small module, only 12 HP, I think, wide, and you have a complete bass line. So if you want to make like a small demo set, it can be very useful to have a standalone voice. And with the Domino, you have a VCO, low pass filter, VCA, and a small envelope. I can show it now. Oops. It has a 24 dB filter. And a very nice analog sound. The VCO is transistor based, VCR and filter are all based on transistors. Small decay envelope. Here we have only a sequencer that tracks. What you hear now is only the Domino, nothing else. So you can do this with just this module. But you have control on the frequency of the filter, frequency of the VCO. So as I say, the Domino, a small all-in-one synthesizer, but it has 12 patch points, so you can control different parameters. You can add it has no LFO, so you can add an LFO in it. Pitch mode. And you can also modulate the pulse width modulation of the square. You can sweep between saw to square. Here we have a modulation going on the pulse. Now the pulse modulation has no attenuation, so you will need a small inverter, like the pole module, for example, if you want to just modulate a bit. So this is also a function, and there is a mixer. As you can mix between saw and square, you can also add a second LFO. So if you want to have a second LFO, you can add it by using the mix input and mix between. So there is no pitch modulation on this one, but no. So the only thing what we would need to do is adding the CV to the second oscillator. You can also have separate output for the square, so you can use the square output, for example, to sync the second VCO. And resonance. Okay. I use this opportunity to show you the Germania VCA that is very that some people like here in the room. It's a Germania VCA, so it can act as a VCA, but as it's using Germanian transistors, you can use it also as a distortion. To add more like so now we are passing the Domino into the Germania VCA. Without and with. Very nice on bass, but it can be also used on kick drums. If I'm using the kick here,
so that was the Domino together with the Germania.
The Domino together with the Germania VCA. So this is the kick normal. On the kit that will go through the Germania. So you can use it in many different situations. Here and also with with polyphonic VCOs. Oups, j'ai perdu là. This is the sound without, and the sound with the Germania. You can use some modulation. Modulate the amplitude.
you add this with some effects. One other very interesting module that I can show you directly on this is the fluctuation magnétique. It's not a very new module, but it's very, I didn't came that often here, but I can show it a bit to you. And it's a quad multimode filter.
How's it called?
Fluctuation magnétique. Magnetic fluctuation. Yeah, I'm French, so I am putting French words on my stuff. Sorry. So those are quad 4 filters that you can use them all together in parallel, in serial, or mixed, and you can switch between low pass, high pass, band pass for each filter. So that gives you hundreds of possibility from 12 dB to 48 dB filters, or like mixed resonance. The thing I like the most is to put some dirty sound in it and treat it with the 4 bands. So now I'm gonna put the noise we just had, and we're gonna work on the 4 bands in parallel. So if you are listening to one band here, so here we have 12 dB. Will have another 12 or 24 dB filter, band pass, or high pass. And if we want to make 48 dB, you can by plugging them in a specific way. Put the Germania out so you can make also clean sounds. Don't need to make a complex noisy sound. Here a simple saw wave. Very important to control the input level of your filters. And here again all the 4 filters together. You can sync the filter A on B, B on C, C on D, so to have only one pot controlling the filter. or having them all working independently. So you can add, for example, modulations to control very nice also with a stereo signal, because you can use two voices separately and work in stereo. Now the setup was made in mono, so I can't show you this now. So from a single saw-two, we have a very rich sound. If we put this with an effect, it's gonna be much. Oops. There's a delay. This is not there's a delay at the end, just to show you how in a mix it could sound. Now, the other thing I will show you is the Quandrantid Swarm. It was shown for the first time 2 years ago at the Super Boost 2017, 2 years ago. And we made a Kickstarter last year with this, and now, which was delivered in October, and now this year we're gonna start shipping the serial products. The Quandrantid Swarm is a standalone instrument, so and it has so it can be used as a module. It can be put out and put in a Euro rack, or can use as a standalone. And it has patch, so you can it's pre-patched, but it has also patch, and you can use some stuff in your module in system, like there is an LFO inspired by the Zone BF, a small envelope, a noise generator. There are 2 analog filters, analog VCA, and a spring reverb, and so you can either use the internal sound generator or use external sounds and treat them in the Quandrantid Swarm. The Quandrantid Swarm has 8 voice sound generator, which is digital, like Lo-fi a bit. So you can use it as a monophonic 8 oscillator synth, or as a polyphonic 8 voice synth, like paraphonic, because the filters are the analog filters are just 2 filters. They are not like 16 filters on a polyphonic synthesizer. And there is a small keyboard here that you can use as a sequencer or play with it. There are 8 different types of synthesis, or more like presets. We have like more organ type. There is a button here which is called sprayed that lets you control the sprayed of your 8 oscillators. You have to imagine 8 oscillators together, and with the sprayed function you move them on the spectrum. This is the organ sound. We have the string. The sprayed function can be harmonic or inharmonic. So in the strings you have a harmonic repartition of the DCOs, and in other like drone it's more like inharmonic to more inharmonic sounds. There is a character parameters which is which adds distortion. And there is a percussion which adds a percussive sound, like more in like a there is some other sounds, which is the reed. So the different sounds are more or less interesting depending on what you do. The metal sound is a kind of an FM sound. The chiptune sounds are like pulse waves. And we add some reverb. There is a reverb trunk inside. You can also use there is an additional input here for either external audio or the reverb feedback. The first filter can be switched between high pass or low pass. And you have also some grain sounds for more like strange noise, and some digital noise. The LFO has different functions. And you can modulate also different parameters like frequency modulation. Like this. And so I can also show you, so this was the monophonic play, and I showed it during my demo the polyphonic. So to switch between polyphonic, just hit switch and start. And then you can play. So the note you play are determined by the small pots. So you can create your own tunes. Or if you are too lazy, you can use a MIDI keyboard to play more like classic tunes. Different. So you can experiment different things with this standalone tool. One thing I forgot to show you with the Domino is the swing module, which is a very useful module, which is not very well known. I had this idea because I like swinging sequences. And so I want to be able to control the swing parameter of your sounds. So it's here. You have clock input, reset input, and then you can control the delay of all your trigs to create some more interesting sequences. So I'm gonna make just a simple sequence. And here you have your phone knobs. They are all controlled by CV, so you can do with external CV. And that will enable you to modify your sequence. So this is the basic sequence. And so you can add some swing to any trig of your choice. The interesting thing is you can start with a very straightforward sequence and add progressively some humanity to your sequence. This is the classic swing, but you can only swing only one of the four, or you can completely destruct your sequence and restart with something more. So if you like step sequences, like also it's very fun with the R155 from Dupfer or some sequencer like this, and to get them into more movement. You have a proportional swing which calculates the internal clock, the clock from the outside, and calculates a proportional delay. Or you can have an absolute delay, so you can totally deconstruct your sequence and go back to your normal sequence. And so I do it by hand, but you can do it also with the LFO and stuff like this. And you have also another function, which is the burst function, which which send bursts of gates. So if you like to work on your sequences in real time and you want to add more parameters to your existing sequencer, this is a very nice small module. And then it goes back to the normal things. So, and for the people who don't know the ribbon, there is this ribbon which is I have built 10 years, 15 years ago an instrument called the Persephone, which was a ribbon synthesizer, and which was totally analog. And a couple of years ago, I made this ribbon, which can be used as a standalone synthesizers, or as a MIDI controller, or as a USB CV controller. It has internal sounds. Yeah, this is for Andreas. So you have 16 presets. Okay. This is the classic, like theremin type sound. And you have a touch key here. And the red presets, but you can change it, are the CV presets. So you can also control a CV. You have two outputs here on your stereo cable, so you can control velocity or amplitude and pitch, if you like. And you have 3 parameters. So if you want, also some people are asking, I want the 3 parameters all together. You can use it with the USB and put it in an Expert Sleeper FH2, for example, and use the 3rd parameter also if you want. This is also possible. Okay, and one other last thing I wanted to show you is that we are also manufacturing cases, hand-built in France. So we have some small cases like this. This is where the Quandrantid Swarm is, but you can also make some small cases like this. We have some bigger cases like this, which are available in 40H or 104 HP with 1, 2, or 3 rows. And we have also this case, which is a fly case, so which is 6U 148 HP. They all comes ready to use with the power supply and everything. But if you want another power supply, you also can have them without on request. And we also make custom stuff. So if you have strange idea for custom wood panels, we can do them. Actually, we are using always our 3U frames, and you can arrange them as you want if you have specific ideas. We can even give you an Illustrator template, and you can play with it if you want. And if you are not in a hurry and have time, we can do it when you have time for you. So I have other modules if you have questions that are less new or older modules. So if you feel free to ask me any question you want. Those are all the old prototypes. So I am testing them. I like to make prototypes. I have a full bag of prototypes at home, and so I'm using them to test them, and sometimes I build modules out of them.
But what is it? Is it a sequencer?
The one with the sequencer? No, there is a mixer, and there are this is quad some VCOs and some envelopes, and yeah. Sorry. This one, these are quad VCOs. So if you want to make like, it was here. Up. This one. I am testing now. It's never gonna be a proper. but the idea was to have a bank of VCOs. And they have their own VCA, so you can control each volume. Yeah. Other questions? The Domino, this is I didn't talk about, this is a DIY kit we are doing. This is a 8-step sequencer. The Domino is the small module, but you can control it. It has CV and gate input, and you can control it from any sequencer you want. This is a DIY product that we have also in the catalog. We have a couple of DIY modules. One which I don't bring today is the weather drone, which was very successful the last years. And this is the 8-step sequencer. Yes, you just have to, so if you press this, and then it will run at 3 steps here. It has glide also. You can also have different ways to. It will stop at certain steps. It has also can play forwards, backwards. It can play also on a different scale. And it can also play only major or minor chords. So, yeah, this is it. Other questions? No.
The Quandrantid Storm, I think
Swarm?
is the right name, is not available.
It's we had a couple of units shipped, but we have more units, I hope, by the end of the month. If yeah, we are waiting for the product.
Me too.
Yes,
So
thank you.
and as soon
And,
as we get them.
You had a delay inside that was yours too?
This is my delay, but this is totally
Prototype.
prototypes. Yes.
Okay.
Is it the same that in this Quadrantid?
No, in this one it has a built-in spring reverb, so it's a real spring reverb. Yeah.
There is no delay inside?
What?
No delay inside?
It is inside. It's the reverb is inside. There is no delay in this one. No. And you have an input for the reverb, so you can use the reverb also with some external signals. You don't need to have.
Is it also possible to make sound with it without the sequencer?
Yes, you can play it.
You can change the decay time here.
Yeah.
He's probably more interested in the very long times.
Yeah. When I say long, I mean long.
You have a trig input, so you can also trig it from an external keyboard if you want. Yeah.
No keyboards.
Or whatever you want to trig. You need to either to press a key,
Yeah.
or you can put I can also control the VCR from an external signal, and if I use the very useful pole module, which is very unknown but very useful, it can give you a constant voltage.
Okay.
Because we are on polyphonic. So here I'm using the constant voltage from the pole.